Thank you, and good morning. First of all, I'd just like to start by giving my sincere appreciation for Ihlas to host this event. I think it's going to be a very important event and a very informative event. And then second, I'd like to thank everyone in attendance for taking their Saturday and joining us. It's a great place to visit, Turkey, Istanbul, beautiful historic city. I know personally this is my first time to visit, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the historical sites tomorrow, so I hope some others get a chance to do the same. So moving on, I think many of you as educators or those who support educators are obviously looking for better ways to teach your students so they learn faster and retain information faster. And probably the two most challenging areas are mathematics and science. And the reason those may be more challenging is because they're very spatial oriented, 3D oriented. And maybe to give just a few examples of how this happens throughout the education process, if you think about in your early years of studies, learning about the planets and learning about the solar system, how complex is it to understand that we've got planets rotating around stars, we've got moons rotating around planets, this entire universe ecosystem. How does a young child understand that and comprehend it and retain it? Again, it's very three-dimensional and very, just very three-dimensional in nature. And then as you move on, okay, it's time to learn about anatomy. Anatomy, again, a very complex, three-dimensional type of topic. But when you start trying to teach students complex topics like how does the heart work? How does the heart move blood through the four chambers and throughout the body? Again, a difficult task to understand in a two-dimensional world. And then, moving on even beyond that to later years when you're studying subjects like advanced chemistry and the three-dimensional molecules and the interactions that these molecules have together, understanding the complexities of that in a two-dimensional world present a challenge. So, now, imagine that you've got a classroom where you can see all of these complex subjects in full stereoscopic 3D. Just imagine how helpful that might be to your students. And then imagine that every student in that classroom is focused on the content that you're showing and the subject that you're teaching. Well, I'm here to tell you, and a lot of you may already know, this imaginary world that I just described exists. And it exists here at Ihlas, and it exists in many schools across the world. And in fact, there are now approximately 4 million projectors installed in schools and other organizations that are capable of displaying stereoscopic 3D content. And the technology that enables stereo 3D content from a projector is manufactured by Texas Instruments. It's a little chip called the DLP chip. This chip is capable of running at very high speeds. And the very high speeds that this chip can run is what enables to have a very affordable, practical projector that can be used in a classroom and teach 3D. So, TI has been on the forefront of education technology for a number of years. So, for example, TI is about a 78-year-old company, but 40 years ago, we introduced some of the first educational products. The first being a calculator and a device called Speak and Spell. And we've continued to invest in education for many years. to the point now where we've reached the point where we have this 3D technology that I think you'll find very beneficial in the classrooms. We also have our calculator technology has evolved from very simple calculator to very complex scientific graphing calculators that are now in color called the Inspire. So that's where we are today, and then we're looking towards the future, and that's a large reason that we're here today is we want to learn from you. What do you need? What problems do you have in a classroom, and how can the technology that Texas Instruments has or can develop, how can we help you be better educators? And some examples of things that we're looking at are making projectors more interactive. Where all of our students are used to interacting with their displays, touching their displays, moving images around. They're not just static displays anymore, they're intelligent displays. And so you'll see some examples of the areas we're moving in that direction. And the other area is in the area of connectivity. So in the old days, a projector was connected to a PC and you showed PowerPoint or some other content. But now we live in a world where a lot of us carry smartphones, a lot of us carry tablets. So we want to connect, we have our content on our tablets or our smartphones are stored in the cloud, and we want to share that content to the projector, and we want to share it wirelessly with no connectivity. So those are some things that we'll be showing you today, and I hope that you'll find interesting. So again, in summary, we make technology, but at the end of the day, we need your feedback on how the technology we're developing is the right technology to help your students learn. And we're looking very forward to today's events and want to learn from the speakers and learn, hopefully you'll learn and we'll all have questions and we'll all have dialogue together and come away with a better understanding of how to move forward. So thank you very much.